Hey everyone, Chris Coelho here, and welcome to my channel. So the age-old question, who's stronger, Tien or Krillin? Let's talk about it. I've seen countless debates on this for years. First, I want to say I think both Krillin and Tien are awesome characters, and I wish they both got more love in Super, and I think the human characters should get more opportunities to shine. I will definitely be making videos soon talking about how I would love to see human characters become more relevant again, and how exactly I think they should go about doing it. Okay, let's start with Tien. He's first introduced back in Dragon Ball during the 22nd Budokai tournament. Here we see Tien as a very powerful opponent, beating everyone he faces really easily. He has a good fight with Yamcha, but in the end, Tien shows he's a much stronger fighter and wins that fight. But he also decides to break Yamcha's leg when Yamcha was already down. Poor Yamcha. We then get to see Tien vs Roshi, and Roshi won the 21st Budokai where he beat both Krillin and Goku. But here we see that Roshi realized he wasn't strong enough to beat Tien and simply steps down from the fight, allowing Tien to cleanly make it to the finals. Krillin was already training with Goku and Master Roshi. He did very well at the 21st Budokai, winning all of his matches pretty easily, and only lost to Master Roshi himself in the semifinals. He almost beat Roshi too, using unconventional tactics and capitalizing on his weaknesses. At the 22nd Budokai tournament, Krillin beats all of his opponents again pretty easily, then faces off against Chaozu in the quarterfinals. This is where we got to see Krillin use the Kamehameha for the first time. Also, get to watch Krillin again really think outside the box to beat Chaozu. Krillin doesn't rely on brute strength most of the time to win, and again utilizes strategy. Now, we get to see the famous battle between the two best friends, Goku and Krillin, facing off in the semifinals. And this is where we get to see Krillin go all out. Krillin puts up a great fight against Goku, trying to use all of Goku's weaknesses against him, but in the end, Goku was just too strong for Krillin and took the win. Goku and the others were still very impressed with how well Krillin performed and grew as a fighter. So the finals take place between Tien and Goku, and this fight was incredibly close, going back and forth, blow for blow between the two of them, and Tien just narrowly squeezing the win over Goku and becoming the 22nd Budokai champion. We get to witness one more major tournament, which is the 23rd Budokai, and again, both Tien and Krillin are winning all of their matches. This time around, Krillin faces Piccolo in the quarterfinals. I wanted to bring this match up because I think it's a pretty important match. Yes, Krillin did lose to Piccolo, but you will see this ongoing theme where almost every opponent Krillin faces, they severely underestimate him. And when they do that, they almost always pay the price. Krillin was giving Piccolo a run for his money, and at moments maybe could have even won the match. I think this says a lot about Krillin and how much he has progressed, going head to head with the strongest villain in Dragon Ball. Now, Goku got his rematch against Tien, but this time around, Goku got way stronger, and Tien was simply getting outclassed by Goku, and no matter what Tien did, Goku was just 2 steps ahead of him, and in the end, Tien was just easily knocked out by Goku, without Goku ever really having to break a sweat. So I think it's pretty obvious, during the 22nd Budokai, Tien was hands down stronger than Krillin. Krillin couldn't beat Goku, and Tien was pretty evenly matched against Goku, and just narrowly taking the win. During the 23rd tournament is where I see Krillin is either equal or slightly surpassing Tien, because Krillin did put up a great fight against Piccolo, and maybe Piccolo was holding back a bit, but once he saw what Krillin could do, he actually had to put up a fight against him, while Goku didn't look like he had to try it all against Tien this time around. Overall, I will still give Tien a slight lead over Krillin, and say Tien was the stronger fighter between the two of them in Dragon Ball. I wanted to start back in Dragon Ball because I feel like a lot of fans from the series never actually watched Dragon Ball. The humans were really strong opponents, and as you saw in these tournaments, Krillin Tien always did very well, only ever losing to the eventual champion. What I loved in Dragon Ball was how fights were determined by skill, tactics, and technique. Yes, power played a part too, but it wasn't the only thing that mattered. Unfortunately, in Z, they kind of throw this idea out the window, and it just becomes who's stronger wins the fight. I got a lot of issues with this, but I'm going to do this for another video. Okay, Raditz shows up, and he does sucker punch Krillin. Let's just get that out of the way here. But now that the Z fighters are aware that the threat is coming, Tien, Krillin, and the others go and train with Kami. This training does help them all tremendously, and both Krillin and Tien become way stronger. We got to see Tien take out a Cyberman with very little effort, and after that we got to see Krillin destroy a bunch of Cybermen with one giant shot with also very little effort. Poor Yamcha though. Throughout all of Dragon Ball Z, and even Super, this guy has had it the hardest. But I'm gonna save my thoughts on that for another video. Okay, back on topic. We see both Krillin and Tien have grown a lot, but this is the moment I believe that it becomes very clear that Krillin has surpassed Tien. We got to see Tien fight Nappa, and unfortunately he already lost his arm, and he uses his strongest attack, the Tri-Beam, and this also did no damage to Nappa, and unfortunately it just leads to Tien's death. I'm not gonna lie, when I originally watched this series and Tien went down, my jaw just dropped. I was shocked. Now, Krillin charges up his Kianzen and is about to slice Nappa's head clean off. Of course, until Vegeta tells Nappa to dodge, but it's very evident as it cut his skin that the attack Krillin made would have killed Nappa. So at this moment, Tien attempted his strongest attack and it did nothing, while Krillin's attack would have killed Nappa. Krillin then goes on to fight Nappa alongside Piccolo and Gohan, furiously trying to get some hits in and utilizing some cool techniques, but in the end they couldn't stop the force of Nappa. Though, after Goku shows up and takes on Vegeta, Krillin and Gohan head back to help Goku. Krillin attempts another Kianzen and also gets to utilize the Spirit Bomb to finish Vegeta. Also, can I just say, this is the type of stuff I want to see in Dragon Ball. Teamwork actually working. If Krillin wasn't there to help Goku, then Goku would have lost that fight. I don't think anyone can argue that. And Krillin was even in a position to kill Vegeta, but spared him because Goku asked him to. Krillin was utilized from beginning to end during that arc, and being helpful through all of those fights. Was Tien strong? Yes, of course he was. But I don't see how anyone could think Tien is stronger than Krillin during this arc after what happened. So, let's move on to the Namek Saga. Krillin plays a major role this arc. He's responsible to bring his friends back to life. Krillin is mostly stealthy this time around, but he does get to engage in some fights with Frieza's henchmen. He also gave a devastating blow to Dodoria to help Gohan get away. So, I bring this all up because Krillin is getting real-world fighting experience. He's fighting unknown threats he's never experienced before, and yes, humans don't get Zenkai boosts, but they do get stronger and smarter after every fight. You can train all day, but nothing's gonna beat doing the real thing, when you are forced to do something and your actual life is on the line. Krillin then gets a major power-up from Guru. I think some people overlook this fact. This wasn't a small power-up, this was a major one. And this moment right here, despite all the training Krillin was already getting from surviving on Namek, he now also unleashed his true potential and now far surpassed all the other human characters. To give more context, in this very moment, Krillin is now stronger than Goku was when Goku was fighting Vegeta and Nappa during the Saiyan arc. So now Krillin is in a spot where he needs to save Vegeta against Raccoon, and Krillin intelligently waits for his moment to attack. He sucker kicks Raccoon but gives a devastating blow that saves Vegeta's life. Granted, Raccoon was insanely strong here, but not even Vegeta was able to really do much damage against him, and Krillin still managed to get a good hit on him, keeping them all alive long enough until Goku showed up. So far you can see an ongoing theme here. Krillin is constantly getting stronger and, more importantly, getting real-world fighting experience. And what is Tien doing? He's not doing anything because he's dead. But oh wait, some people want to bring this up, saying Tien is training with King Kai, so he must be getting stronger. First problem with this, that is filler. Tien never actually trained with King Kai, neither did Yamcha or the others. Secondly, think about it logically. As I mentioned earlier, Krillin has gotten way stronger up to this point, and Vegeta is even stronger than Krillin. So when Tien and the others are fighting the Ginyu Force on King Kai's planet, can you honestly say that it makes any sense that Yamcha was easily handling them along with Tien and the others just beating the Ginyu Force, and yet moments before that, Vegeta, Gohan, and Krillin were on the brink of death fighting them? It literally doesn't make any sense. This would mean Chaozu and Yamcha are stronger than Vegeta if you want to believe this filler. Now, the humans are on King Kai's planet, but not much time has passed. They were only there for a few weeks, and all the manga shots we see are them just focusing on the battle on planet Namek. We don't see them training at all, and even if they did train, it wasn't for very long that would have given them any significant power up, like the one that Krillin received. Now, Tien and Chaozu do stay behind for an additional 130 days, which is about 4 months, so we can assume Tien took the time to train, but it wasn't training that would have come close to closing the gap between him and Krillin. He never learned Kaioken or the Spirit Bomb, probably because he didn't have enough time to learn it, or King Kai simply didn't teach it to him. Even if he did train with King Kai, it still wouldn't have raised his power all that much without Kaioken, because even Goku, after training with King Kai, was still weaker than Vegeta, and that was training with King Kai for around a year. I mentioned earlier, Krillin already surpassed Goku when he was battling Vegeta, so no matter how you want to look at it, training or no training, it wasn't enough to close the massive gap in power that Krillin got on Namek. Okay, that is all for part 1 of this 2-part series. I will be releasing part 2 tomorrow, so don't forget to subscribe and click that bell icon so you can stay notified when I drop the video. Again, thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys next time.